Hi, my name is Jennifer Taylor, and welcome to 108 Healing Senses podcast. And today I have a very special guest called Smita Patel. What wisdom have you got to share for today?
Hi there. Hi, Jen. Thanks for having me on your show. I'm really pleased to be here. Um, so I do like language, healings, activations, and upgrades. Um, and my team and I work quite closely with the guide team I have, and we're here to help you uncover your true light and purpose. So that's the true essence of who you are without all the trauma, the conditioning, the limiting beliefs and fears and insecurities, all the things that hold you back from being who you really are, who you came here to be and do what you came here to do without what people think you ought to do or
Mm,
should be doing. You see
yeah,
what I mean? So it's yeah, helping you to live your truest life and purpose.
it's a really important place to be actually. And as you go along in your path, people will start to unravel the conditioning that they may have had from family,
Yeah,
culture, even past lives as well. You know, that there can be
definitely.
a lot of scarring on the soul that can
Yeah.
flow into this one. That's also a area of kind of soul healing is something that's very important to me, and healing generational trauma. As, but we can do that by working on ourselves.
Yeah, and it works through the ancestral lines, it works through, if we're like the kind of the curse breakers generationally, we can break those cycles that have been dominating the family line or ancestrally for generations. So we can help you break those cycles so you can live the life, as I said, that you're meant to live without those boundaries in place.
Absolutely. And a lot of the time it is,
And past life, as you said as well.
yes, often, at least it's been from my experience, going through my own self-healing journey as well as being a practitioner of future life progression, FLP, is just having the awareness that something was there and you hadn't even known about it because it's so deep within your subconscious and your energetic field that until it is brought to your attention, that's when things can change.
Yeah. I totally agree with that. I mean, the amount of trials and tribulations I've been through to get myself out here talking about my journey. I mean, there's so many things that went back to past life, this fear of being seen, a fear like being on a platform, speaking my truth, bringing what I need to the surface. It just, yeah, a lot of that goes back to past life
Mm.
issues where, there's been deaths involved or severe trauma that have caused me to really sit inside my shell and not want to be out there. But yeah, I've slowly been breaking all of those down to do what I need to do.
Yeah, and I love that. Thank you. Thank you for sticking at it because your heart and the love and your light in whatever form it may take is important to the world right now. Another reason why I created this platform is I want to bring those that have beautiful messages and inspiration and solutions. More importantly, I want to see more solutions than there are problems in the world
Oh,
because there's
that's
always, yeah,
definitely.
it's there's always more solutions than there are problems, but it depends what you focus on.
I think because humanity's changing so much, like the things that used to work for us may not be the solution right now, or there might be, like just with the light language, I see it as quite an advanced or futuristic type of healing.
Mm,
Um, and I think there's more of that needed as everyone's growing, ascending, and people's structure. I mean, people's bodies and energies are changing. So we need something that's going to work better with how we're moving forward.
yes, I suppose it might be hard for people to comprehend that our bodies are evolving right now.
Yeah.
And actually, I think some, I suppose you might even see it or read it like, you have Ascension symptoms, but it could be like you have no appetite or you have a lot of appetite. It really differs. I know I've had that a lot this year, like just weeks, like just no appetite.
Yeah, and I know when I'm going through upgrades, I start getting more sinus issues, and I start getting headaches, things like
Mm,
that. Or, you know that your body's changing. Like you said, your appetite can change. The kind of foods that you want to have change. Like, there's so many things that just don't sit right with me. You suddenly become intolerant to them,
mm,
and you want probably less food or more healthier foods, and going back to the simplistic type of natural foods in their most natural form as well. That seems to be what my body wants now
I,
more
I,
so.
yeah, I've been feeling the same way as well, actually. Like, even if I'm eating smaller portions, I will put more of my money and invest into organic food because
Yes.
really your body's looking for nutrients, it's not looking for quantity. So if we have that in mind, then it's like, okay, what can I do with my resources to invest within my body? Because we are what we eat, and we are what we ingest, whether it's physical or energetic.
Definitely, definitely.
Mm,
It's a huge difference to what you have in your surroundings, what you listen to on the TV, radio, all of that makes a big difference to our energy.
absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, it's very it's really pivotal times right now because everything is starting to become new, or it's kind of reminding us of the old ways, but it's in a new way,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
Yeah. And I think not everything is as it seems. So it's a bit you need the eyes of truth, don't you,
Yeah.
to see through things.
The discernment is really, really critical, actually, in
Definitely.
in many respects. And I would say for anyone that's asking, well, what is true discernment? And it's if you're experiencing any level of or observing any level of fear, is come
Yeah.
back to your heart and just check in and see, does this resonate as true? Or is this message actually what it says it is? Because our body and our hearts are so powerful. Your body will tell you things. If you go into a cold room, for instance, and all of your hairs stand on end and something's not quite right, that's a great body signal that no, you're getting information that you might not quantify in words, but something's not right. And it's the same for discernment.
Yeah, and that's what I always lead my clients to as well, to work with their heart. So we do help with, that heart activation, or opening your heart more so you can connect with it better, to connect to that truth. And like, I couldn't put it better myself. That's how I teach my clients to check in if something doesn't feel right. Check in with your heart. How does it feel? So the heart lets you know, but the gut can also confirm it too.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And these are the small, these are solutions that people can practice every single day and tune in. And it's the same for anyone, any kind of information, and you can just tune in, just come back to your heart and breathe for a few breaths, and just ask, is this true, yes or no? And if you say that 3 times and you get any no within that, then it's a no. But you
Yeah.
have to center yourself, come into yourself, and ask that question, because so often we're always, or at least, and this used to be me as well, but I'm definitely the inverse now, where I come with into myself and check the validity, not always going to external sources to give me validity on things. Like, no, really come back into yourself, that ownership. And it's
Definitely the way to go now for sure, because I think there's so much fear put into the general narrative, with certain messages that you'll find through the government, through the TV and whatever. So you need that level of discernment within yourself
yeah.
to figure out what's right and what's not, and
Ev-
what's best for you.
yeah, even I don't know if you've noticed it, like you see these AI videos, you're like, that's so realistic, and you're like, hang on, is that true? You're like, no, it's not. So that's a whole other realm of things we have to now put into play is discerning what's true and what's not true.
Yeah,
And it's more critical than ever to have that, the eyes to see and the heart to feel and the
yeah,
gut to sense.
yes, perfect. Yeah,
Yeah.
very well said.
So yeah, so what other things do you do with your clients?
So the light language, I would say, is like helping people to connect to their true selves. So we'll do healing to help them release any blocks or clear any kind of stagnant or frozen energy. So, if you've got stagnant energy, that could be toxicity within your environment, or, frozen. If you're in, if you've just been through some kind of trauma, but you're still stuck in that kind of frozen fawn mode, and
Mm,
it's difficult and overwhelming to do things, or if you're in a state of self-sabotage, or you've got a lot of resistance around you. So it's about clearing all of these energies that stop you from absorbing more light.
mm,
Yeah, because this is all the shadow stuff, right? So
yeah.
it's about clearing all these things, all the trauma, difficult experiences, conditioning, the limitations that we have on ourselves through our thinking and beliefs, or
Mm,
other things that hold us back. So it's about clearing all that so we can absorb more light.
yeah.
Because the good thing about the light language, not only clears, but it brings more light in to absorb. So then when we're feeling lighter, brighter, more uplifted, we've got that positive spiral going on in our lives, and things are working out, and we've got that flow. I love that word flow, because that's when we're not stuck anymore. We're flowing, and we're heading in the right direction, and we're more in alignment with our path and purpose and heading there. So that's what we help people with. And the light language, I find, is it seems to be that all the different therapies I've learned over the years all help within the light language as well. So it's kind of like all my knowledge together with the team's download of the codes and
Nice.
light language. It all works together. So we clear all that, but we also help people to upgrade and to activate as well. So upgrade is where you've got existing talents and abilities, and we'll just level you up, if you like, and it make that better. So I work with a lot of mediums and channelers, so helping them to increase their ability,
Nice.
um, and sharpen their connection with their guides, or if there's light beings wanting to work with you, but there isn't a frequency match, so we can help raise your vibration to meet them in between, and then improve your communication or open up that communication with them,
Wonderful.
and also to activate any kind of dormant soul gifts that you might have if
Mm,
they're there for the taking. So we've activated people's light language, or bringing in their channeling skills, or whatever it is that's there for the
so-
taking that needs to be brought forward at this time. Once we've done the level of clearing as well,
yeah.
to bring those forward.
No,
So
it's
light
fabulous.
language helps with all of that, really.
Love
And
that.
then we can do the FLP, or the future life progression, to really figure out what their potential. The light language can also bring this information forward, but I like people to figure out this kind of information themselves. And
Mm,
the FLP, the future visioning, really allows that person to go on their own journey and figure it. It's like getting a reading for yourself, isn't it?
yes. I
All
love
right. So getting that information, figuring out what is it that's their key thing that they're bringing to the world, and how to make that happen, or what their niche is, how do they stand out from the others in the crowd,
it.
or who are the main collaborators going to be, or the main people that might support them, or bringing them avenues forward, or who where can they be a leader in that field, or and who's best to help them there. So
Mm,
in all their tribe, bringing their tribe forward.
yes. Yeah, I love FLP. I feel it's one of the most empowering tools out there because you guide the person, you facilitate them in this safe container space where they get to experience connecting to their past, their and their future timelines, where they might be in 5 or 10 years, or
Yeah,
even connecting to a future life, and you get so much healing and wisdom and insight, and it's so profound because that person is experiencing it for themselves, and it's like a wake up call to their soul, and it's them being able to connect to that energy of their future self where they've already done it, they've achieved it, and they can give you all of that.
bringing that back with you.
Yes, and then your future will happen quicker because you're getting the inside inside messages from yourself as to what to focus on. Don't get distracted with that. Do you can work on these things, go in this direction. I love it. It's so profound. Out of all of the different tools that I've come across over the years, this is a very profound tool and you
Yeah.
can combine it with many other things as well, but it's very
Yeah,
profound.
definitely. And I think it really does show you your kind of full potential, your maximum potential, doesn't it? Because you can
Mm,
see, I mean, if you know the alternative futures one where you can, see your future, if you carry on plodding along as you are now, compared to, your best possible future, and you you might not have even thought about some of the things that might come up in that, and they might bring forward like talents and abilities, or say you're going to be writing a book, or like things that you never have thought about. But once you connect to that energy, and I always like liken it to putting like a fishing rod out there, and reeling in your best possible future and connecting to that energy, making that your reality rather than all those other possibilities. It could be just a bit, you know,
yeah,
so it's about bringing that best one forward.
yeah, hindsight, that's the word.
Yeah.
You
And
can
also, yeah, sorry, go on.
oh no, I was just going to say, people always think, oh, I wish I had the hindsight to have changed that. It's like now you actually can.
Yeah,
You have facilitation that you can get hindsight, and you can save yourself so much time and
yeah,
and just focus on the things that matter the most to you and your best possible future.
yeah. And like you were saying before, how it can show your soul's journey, because sometimes I've really questioned this lifetime, thinking, why does it have to be like this? So what have I chosen to learn, and how does it fit into the whole story? But doing
Mm,
your past life, or the life you just had before, or any significant lifetimes to your soul's journey, and then seeing your future life, or even going further into the future to see your kind of far distant future self. That's a very important one
yeah.
as well that you can do. You can really bring a lot of wisdom forward.
Mm. And
Lifetime
healing as
healing,
well.
yeah, yeah. I
People,
remember on one of the courses I did, and this lady came up to me, and she was another practitioner on the course, and she said, basically, she said, "Can I scan?" I had a Metatron sweatshirt on, like bit like the symbol on there, but I had it on at the top.
beautiful.
And she was saying to me, "Oh, you got this wrong with you, that wrong with you, that is this," and I was like, "I'm just starting a course, lady," and he just hit me with this, and I was really thrown the whole day, trying to learn, but knowing I had all this stuff supposed to be going on with me. Well, I did that session within the course, and the lady came back to me. She said it's all, and I knew that the future stuff had cleared it as well. And I
Ah,
went, yeah, it
wow.
was really amazing. But yeah, they definitely bring so much wisdom and so much light, and
Love.
I definitely felt like I got a frequency upgrade as well with that,
Mm.
because you
You
can
know,
feel the change in the frequency and vibration of when you connect with that energy.
yeah,
You really have
absolutely.
to ground yourself afterwards, but you can definitely see how your soul is evolving through those lifetimes, through the learning, the growth, and the wisdom that it gains along the way.
Mm. Yeah. And also your future self wants you to be your best version now because it affects them in the future. So
Yeah,
and and everyone, individually, we know ourselves the best. We especially when it's like the version of us that is in the future, and they can give us the best quality advice, the best love, the best healing, and probably a lot of people's what you would consider guardian angels are in fact their future selves you know, because time isn't what we think it is. It's not linear. Things are multidimensional, and time is all sorts of upsy downsies. Or like there isn't any time. There's no past, present, future. It's all happening at the same time. So it makes complete sense that our future self would also be here to assist us now. Just
Yeah,
as when we do past life regression, we can also get the wisdom from there and also see if there's anything that we can do to assist that version of ourselves then to, you know, to help with any transmutation of whatever it is, or healing, or receiving soul gifts from the past as well and
yeah,
integrating those in. So yeah, the sky is not even the limit. I love
definitely. It's such an open book as well, and you can really tailor. Sometimes, I've had clients, and you know, some of the things that we've learned through the scripts that we use in future life regression or future vision don't quite fit, but you can quite easily adapt it to tailor it for your client
absolutely.
and bring them exactly what they need.
Yeah, it's fabulous, and it is a very intuitive process when you're facilitating or receiving, and it is profound even as a facilitator. It
Yeah.
incredible. I had a session with a beautiful woman the other day, and we went back to a past life, and back then she was Polynesian and she was bigger then. But the thought was, because the channeling, you needed to have a big body to hold the big energy.
Yeah,
And
ground the energy and yeah,
yeah, but now it was different because our bodies have evolved to receive and hold light in a different way. And it was so beautiful. So the connection of her connecting with that past self who was a healer as well. And now it's that, no, this is now the process. She doesn't need to have that in this lifetime. So the process of her will be releasing weight. And then we went to her future, and she's absolutely fantastic. She was in her 60s, but she had the age of a 40-year-old.
wow, amazing.
Yeah, so I mean, like remarkable things, and it's beautiful. I'm excited to always love watching my clients as they progress as well, and how they evolve and step into their highest version of themselves that they've brought in from their future. So
Yeah,
so beautiful.
it's so good connecting with that energy, keeping that energy with you,
Yeah.
and like connecting with it every day, making it
Mm,
happen.
absolutely. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. It's fab.
yeah,
So yeah, did would it would now be a good time to do your light language, do you feel?
yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
so I've been checking in about what to do. Sometimes I do like a frequency upgrade, but we've been talking a lot about releasing the blocks, releasing things that are holding you back. So I think I might do like an energy release,
Nice.
so you get an idea. So it would just be a taster,
Mm.
but like this is going to be a tune for people watching it, that they get something from it and they feel what it's like to get that energy release, and maybe a little light upgrade. And then, if you want to book a session, you can do for a more kind of individual, personalized approach. We can do that as well. So, okay. So what I'm going to do is just connect with my team, connect to the collective that are watching. My nose twitches before I go into it. Jesus, obra que sobra que si o fumando que sobra que sobra que se dobra que se toma se vai foi. Obra que sobra que se toma se vai que si o chama que sobra que si obra que se. Obra que se obra que se que se obra que se sobra que si. Obra não obra que se obra que se toma se obra que se chama se. Obra que se obra que se chama que se. Obra que se obra que se manda que obra que se obra que se que se obra se. Obra que se toma obra que se chama que se obra que se chama se que chama se. Obra que se faz que obra que se obra que se obra que se obra que se. Obra que se obra que se obra que se obra que se chama que se chama que se. Obra que se obra que se chama que se obra que se obra que se. Obra que se obra que se Okay, so let me just explain a little bit about how I work. So the light language is more like a vibrational expression. So it's not something that we're going to really understand with our conscious mind. So it goes beyond that, and it's going to really drop in our hearts and our soul and our DNA, because it goes that level of deepness. So it's a bit like if you go for a sound bath or a gong bath or something like that. So you've got to go with how you feel with it. Okay, so you can't, it's not really something you can translate or work out word to word. What I wouldn't be able to do that for you. I can get the essence of what it's about. So today's one was a bit of an energy clearing and then bringing down more light into your body. So you get a sort of a mini version of what we might do with you. So these kind of vibrations and codes all come through me, through my eyes, through the codes that I do with my hands, and then through the spoken light language. So I know lots of people do light language, and I wouldn't come across anyone that sounds like mine yet. Sometimes a bit slower. Mine just comes out super fast, and I can't even talk that fast, so I know it's not me. But when the dialect changes, I have several different dialects that come through me. And to me, each one of those dialects is like a different guide, and they'll help with different things. So I work quite closely with a collective, the Galactic Federation of Light. So I'm in service to them and in service to the divine as well. So that a dual purpose. But these codes, these vibrations, they're multi-dimensional channeled energy, and they will help us in a number of different ways. So that, as I said before, they help with the healing, releasing of blocks. They help us to raise our vibration, help us to release the old ways of doing things that aren't serving us, and create these new neural pathways so we get those shifts in our consciousness. Help us to activate these dormant soul gifts, connect us to that inner wisdom and guidance that we have, or help us on our ascension journey. So there's lots of different things in how it can help, and you know, as I said before, upgrade our existing talents and abilities, but help us to really live the life that we came here to live, and do what we're meant to do, and be who we're meant to be.
Thank you. That was beautiful, and I really felt it in my heart.
Did you?
Yeah, and it was making me really smile actually. It was really lovely experience, and you're right, you are very unique. I've not heard it like that, but it was so perfect actually. It was very yeah, maybe it's like light washing you, but in this, yeah, it's just wonderful. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I could just see like the energy field, and it just kind of clearing stuff out of the energy field, and then bringing more light in and helping fill those places that have been cleared, and lifting your vibration with that as well.
Love that.
So I
So
hope that reaches the people it needs to reach.
yes, I'm sure it will. I'm sure it will. How long have you been doing light language for?
So this started coming in probably about 2, 3 years ago.
Mm.
Um, it's I so my background is actually in marketing and corporate marketing, and I used to work in the big kind of mobile tech companies, like EE and T-Mobile, O2, those kind of things. I used to do product marketing. Eventually, it's like the universe pushed me out of that area because I was good at my job. I had really good, well-paid jobs and um, product marketing manager roles and customer experience roles. So there were loads of good things about that career, but I also wasn't really happy because it's quite male dominated, and it was sometimes you end up being there's so much control in those kind of environments that you end up being a glorified administrator. So anyway, I finally got to a point where I was looking for my next contract or next role, and I couldn't find anything. But all these avenues started opening up to what I was looking at in just in my social life or my my interests, my outside interests.
Yeah.
So one of the things I got into was Zumba because I used to love exercising and doing group classes. So I started doing Zumba and lots of opportunities. I got asked to cover more classes. I got asked for if I wanted to take over managing all the classes at one of these gyms and sort of a big centre. So I thought, well, I could continue my career in marketing or take this role and take a massive pay cut. I think I was earning like 40% or something of what I earned before.
Yeah.
So I took that, the latter, and I was really happy. I was so happy doing the things I love. And that just opened up another door for me because I just felt really connected to, wow, I love music, I love dancing, I love teaching, all these things that are coming out. And I went, I was bigger before, and I went down to a size 8. And the other thing that I started doing was looking at into weight loss, but not through the traditional routes, because I don't think it's just about what you eat and how much you exercise. There's other things, other components. So the route that I took was without any dieting, but it's looking at the causes, the root causes for why you put on weight. So things like trauma, difficult experiences, or beliefs, or emotional issues. When you emotional obesity is when you kind of eat your feelings, that kind of thing, or not recognizing, stuffing them down, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So so that I then wrote to the guy whose book I kind of used to help me on my process of releasing the weight. And anyway, to cut a long story short, he invited me to become one of his coaches. So then I was coaching for him, people all over the world. And that just gave me like a background it was like a foundational training, because a meeting with hundreds of people over 10 years that I worked with for him, that just gave me such a good background on how different people are with their different issues, different backgrounds, and multitude of issues. And my job was to help diagnose what was going on with them, the root causes of what was going on, and then give them the tools they needed to break free from that and reverse that process so they can start releasing weight. So that really helped me a lot. And then through that, I learned cellular release therapy, which is a really good way of releasing trauma. It's a mode of hypnotherapy where you don't need to relive or re-experience what you've been through, which is brilliant. Helped me release a lot. And also tapping. I learned tapping, EFT, matrix re-imprinting, but also going through my own process of wanting to heal the issues I had. That's what helped me to train. So when I started doing other things like Rahani, and Harmony, I don't know if you heard it, was celestial healing, it's the fifth dimensional healing modality, right? So when I started doing that, it's almost like the attunement just brought all my stuff to the surface, like in 2015, I think 10 years ago, So it was almost like it just brought everything to the surface. Where I'd gone down to a size 8, started gaining weight again. My whole body felt like it was shutting down, but it was, and that's what caused me to move into lots of alternative ways of healing, because I tried going through the traditional routes through the NHS and I just wasn't getting anywhere. I needed the holistic approach, looking at the root causes of everything. So so when I did the Rahani, it brought everything up. the surface, even trauma that I hadn't realized was there, that I'd suppressed from childhood. So then that started me on that journey of looking through all these alternative routes. And so when I started opening up energies and the Rouhani, angelic Reiki, Pella, this kind of thing started happening, and I didn't really know what it was. So I thought, what, my hand's moving in this direction when I'm opening up to this energy. I don't know what's happening. It feels natural, but I'm not doing this, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But it didn't feel scary. It just felt, oh, yeah, it's just doing that. So I thought, I'm not sure what this is. And then I spoke to a few of the teachers about, from the modalities, and I said, well, I don't know what you're doing, but that's not angelic Reiki, or that's not Pella. Well, okay then. So it was funny enough, because then, when you kind of put it out to the universe as to, oh, why is this happening, and get some answers. And one of the ladies I follow online on YouTube, and she does reading, so it goes out to like 15, I think she's got 15,000 subscribers or something. So she did this pile 1, 2, and 3, pick a pile, with a reading on different oracle cards. So I picked a pile, and then she said 3 things in succession, which it felt like she was talking directly to me. She said, is someone on here having sinus issues? So as I said before, when I'm going through some kind of upgrade, I get really bad sinus issues. So I said, yeah, that's happening. I had 6 weeks of sinus issues at the time. Really painful, and I was having to sleep upright. And I was like, yeah, that's exactly what was happening to me, having all that too. And then she said, are you doing this with your hands? And she was doing the similar kind of coding as what I was doing in my hands. And I thought, yeah, you're talking directly to me. And she said, that's because your light language is coming through. And I thought, oh, click. And it was funny because a couple of years ago, when I first started doing Rouhani, I started connecting, because part of that is connecting with your galactic guides, because that healing modality originates from other areas as well. So when you start connecting with the galactic guides, it kind of, for me, was a level up at the time. And I, on my own healing journey, got people to do some surrogate work for me. So when I'm not present, but they do the work on my behalf. They said to me, one of the ladies said, well, we need to work on the Rouhani. I said, please don't work on the Rouhani. That's going really well. And I love connecting with it. And I pick up so much things about people, and really, that's the only thing that's going really well. Please don't. And they're like, no, there's something wrong with the Rouhani, something wrong with the Rouhani. And then they said, okay. And then they came back and said, you're not to touch Rouhani anymore. Don't ever do it again. No, and they wouldn't give me a why. So I was like left confused, but they said, absolutely don't. And I said, what, just for now or ever? And they said, never to do it again, because it's not good for you. And then they said, these galactic guides that you're connecting with, that's not good for you either. And you just stick to the Holy Trinity only.
Oh.
That's the only, Holy Trinity is the only ones you can work with. So I was kind of then in fear of, connecting with these galactic guides, thinking, oh, I'm not meant to do that. And then all of a sudden, this light language is full on with the galactic. So it was funny how that happened on the journey. But I realized then, okay, this is light language, and I connected with another lady who does light language. And I was also going to Glastonbury a lot at the time. I could really feel, I stood by the well, and then I could feel like something activating in my throat, and I felt like I wanted to say these things, but with 2 people, I just felt really shy about doing it. So the voice came out a bit later on, and then I would practice. I'd walk in the field nearby and make sure no one's around, look behind me, and I'd start drawing these codes, and then the dialect started coming through, and I realized, oh, there wasn't just 2 or 3, there were like lots. There were about 40, maybe more than that. And then when I started counting with the guys, I thought, oh, well, there's a lot. And realized I'm not just working with certain types of galactics. It's like a collective.
You're the transmitter. You're the transmitter. Hopefully.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I think I'm probably just, like it's been happening. So I've had several upgrades over that period of time. So I think probably, yeah, it's in 3 years or so. But I've had quite a few upgrades. So the amount of guides that I work with has grown. The abilities that I have has grown. The frequency, the power of the healing or the upgrades has grown. So
Mm.
just feels like it's constantly evolving. So I'm probably not even at full capacity yet.
I love that kind of ever evolving and ever growing, because we are every single one of us are evolving on our soul paths. And I love that. That's really beautiful. And I know what you mean with that kind of like, oh, things are kind of activating within me, but you might keep it to yourself, or you might not know how to manage it well. So actually connecting with souls like you, myself, and other, I'd say, recommended practitioners. But also, you can tune in with your heart. It can be very profound on your journey, and there will
Yeah,
always be these beautiful souls that will say, it's like angels that were just put on your path.
definitely. Then I just love connecting with them because it's not just the galactics. I also have a big angelic team, like I work with archangels and angels, ascended masters as well, and the source energy. So all of that comes into the mix. It's not just galactic. But I think some people can be really scared of the whole galactics. I mean, when I used to do the fairs, you'd find that people just it's almost like a step back, because it's a bit too woo woo or not. They don't know enough about it.
Mm,
They're probably more likely to go to angelic Reiki or Reiki, things that they know that's been around more, is more talked about.
yeah, I suppose it's still, even in the kind of spirituality field, there's still judgment. There's still, I would also say there can still also be a lot of darkness with
Yes,
those pretending to be the light. I've
yeah,
experienced that
also,
myself.
me
So
too.
that discernment is critical. And I would also say, if anyone's watching, if you have had traumas or you have insecurities, if you're needy, if you're people pleaser, I highly suggest you work with someone like Smita or myself or any other recommended practitioner that will be able to assist you on being able to clear and upgrade your beliefs, be able to heal yourself at the core, love yourself from within, and not look for external love, not look for external validation, or not put people external to you on a pedestal and say, oh, all, because that is also not what it's not what everything's about. Like,
No, and it can be so limiting as well because
yes.
I tell you what, another thing that's come to me recently is I'm really here to help the underdog because
Mm,
I think there's, when you were saying before, like, people that if you don't believe in yourself enough and put other teachers or people around you on that pedestal
yeah.
and you take their word for gospel, there's a lot of spiritual egos out there. And if they, I've had that thing where, you've got this playing small because there can be people around you that it's almost like they can sense your power, sense your ability, and then they try and push you
Suppress.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's not good.
Or use your energy as well. That's another one.
Yeah, because you can totally give your power away. Yeah, I've had people siphoning off my energy for ages and not realize. So we
Yeah.
can definitely help with all of that. But when you give your power away to someone else because they think they know more than you, or you can learn from them, and they're not coming from the right place,
No.
and that can really hold back your progress. So
Yeah.
definitely want to help you to really shine your light and make sure that you're being who you are supposed to be, not
Yeah.
being held back by people around you.
And I would say, from my experience personally, and also observing people externally, unhealed trauma, is the root of when shadow is distorts your perception of reality. It projects your distortions of perception of
Yeah,
reality and
you're
just
reacting from that state.
yes, And you know, if people are coming from a place of fear rather than love, you know, your perception of reality is always going to be skewed. Because if you're always coming into a situation thinking the glass is always half empty, well, you're always going to get half empty. Not to say be discerning of who you have in your company or what you listen to, what energy you do receive. Even art pieces, you know, an artist, you are receiving that their energy field is what they're painting. So you know, you might say like the pained artist. I wouldn't have a painting from someone that's pained, because what are you doing? You're receiving the energy of that pain through their art piece. So it's
Mm,
really important. What do we have within our environments? Who do we choose to be in contact with? Sometimes, and a lot, you know, on a person's journey of discernment and discerning light and dark and an integrated neutrality, which is the place to be. You don't want to suppress your traumas. You don't want to suppress your pain. It is important to process it and rewire yourself to now live your life in a higher frequency. And what happens from that? You'll attract exactly what you're thinking. Like your mind and your reality are so intertwined that, yeah, you just focus on what you want, and that's what you'll get. You get what you are. And if you
yeah,
are in a higher vibration, you're going to receive more high vibration. Sure, you might have some challenges along the way, but you're going to have discernment to spot it.
yeah. And it's definitely getting easier, I'd say, like
Yeah.
as you go along this journey, that it's easier to pick up, oh, okay, so I'm having that thought, that's not great. Where's that coming from? Get to the root cause of that, clear that out. Okay, what is it I want to create, and then
Mm.
bring that into your reality with the new thought patterns and ways of being.
Yeah, absolutely. And also recognizing if you do have any negative self-talk
Yeah.
and
Well,
ask
that's where
yourself,
it comes from, isn't it? That's when you realise, oh, I just said that. Where's that? Is that true for me?
yes, absolutely. You have to question it. You have to
Did
question
I
it.
pick that up from someone else? Because,
Yeah.
when you're around people, you can end up thinking like that. Oh, I'm such a real big empath, like a very hypersensitive one. So, and I've learned to manage it more over the years. But you can pick up stuff from, like you said, from your environment, from different people, from what you watch, what you read, what you bring into your energy field. So it is really important what you bring in, what you allow to come.
Yes. Yeah. And also not to be fearful if you have your own shadows coming up either, because they are there to tell you something.
Yeah,
If
it's
it's
your own part of your growth, isn't it?
yeah, I found on my journey, and it sounds so simple, but it works, and you have to consistently do it as well. Is, you know, if fear comes up, speak to that fear. What is it trying to tell you? There's something that is trying to tell you, and then you can say, well, is that valid for me right now? Yes or no? and and you can go from there, but ultimately it's pouring love into everything that we do.
Yeah, that's a higher
Love,
vibration, isn't it? Much better than
love, grace, compassion. And when you have that for yourself, you will intrinsically change your vibration, which will also change and have a ripple effect to everyone else around you as well. Family, pets, loved one, everyone will receive that upgrade of vibration, and you're singularly doing the work, but it has a ripple effect, and this is the power of love, and it is so profound. It's been squashed for so many generations and millennia, um because it is powerful. So this is the time for love. This is the time for love. Yeah.
Definitely. And I think that's what we're moving towards, isn't it? That's what we're moving to, ascending to the fifth dimension. That is the frequency of love,
And
isn't it?
beyond. Yeah. Yeah, and beyond.
So,
It's yeah. It is fantastic and roller coaster ride of a life, this one, because we're in such incredible change right now in the world. And I would also suggest anyone that does struggle with their mental health or gets overwhelmed by what's happening around, and if you're feeling helpless or worried, is completely detract and remove that pain from you. So stop watching the news. If you're watching the news all the time and it's making you stressed out and feel helpless, don't entertain it. Don't
Yeah,
let it enter you, okay?
way
And
too much negativity, isn't there, in news?
yes. And if you need to, watch some cat videos, watch animals, be with nature. It's so powerful and profound and loving, because nature and animals, they are pure hearts, and
Yeah,
children and baby. You know that there is a purity, and if you were to consider that in your day to day, is like, okay, well, if I was to be loving and caring and compassionate to myself today, what would I want to do? And maybe it's gonna have a bath with some Epsom salts or some apple cider vinegar in it, because it's like nice and cleansing and detoxing as well. Or massage your own body. Like, don't wait for others to do it for you. Do it yourself. And
yeah,
then, if you are looking for love, then that love will come to you. That your reality is constantly reflecting your inner reality.
yeah. That's right. Because when you feel that love for yourself, then it also brings it from outside as well.
Yeah, yeah, that's it.
Nice
Is
message.
it? Yeah, thank you. It's important, and it's
Definitely.
that's what drives me. Another thing, love drives me. I'll never give up on love ever. I love love so much, and I want everyone else to be able to experience that level of love, because we are all worthy and deserving to experience love.
Yeah,
True love, true love.
definitely. Wholeheartedly agree. Because that's ultimately what the vibration of where we're moving to is all about.
Yeah, and it starts with us.
It starts with us, yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
ourselves, yeah. So, Shmita, is there? How can people contact you?
So I have a Facebook business page. It's Light Language Smita. I also have a website, so that is lightlanguagesmita.com. So those are the main ways you can contact me. Lightlanguagesmita at gmail.com is my email as well. So those are the main ways. I do have a fairly new TikTok channel and a YouTube channel. I will be posting more videos on those and doing short healing videos of light language. So trying to put a message out there. So I'm just starting the journey of putting myself out there. So this is really helpful for me. So thank you for allowing me to come here and share my story, share what I do,
My
and
pleasure.
find solutions for the crowd watching.
Yeah, that's it. That is absolutely it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure, and I look forward to connecting with you soon and following you on all of your socials and your TikToks.
And likewise, thank you. Thank you so
So,
much. And
thank
thank
you.
you to the people watching.
Yeah. Thank you very much too for watching.